Hello, thank you for tuning in to this video. Today we are going to discuss about one of the most dreaded questions of any interview process. In fact, most of the interviews start with this question itself. Yes, you have guessed it right. Today we are going to talk about tell me something about yourself. Now, ironically, this question, asking to introduce yourself, should be one of the most comfortable questions to deal with for most of the candidates. But factually, it is not. Just because we are really not sure what should be added or should not be added in this answer. So, let's discuss this more in detail. Now, understanding this fact first, almost one third or 33% of hiring managers claim that they select or reject a candidate within first 90 seconds of an interview itself, which means this answer can become a deciding factor in most of the interviews. Now, does this mean that the interviews stop after this answer? No. This answer just frames the first impression of a candidate in the mind of a recruiter. And now, the rest of the interview answers are just to make sure that the perception framed is correct. Now, what do I mean by this? So, let's say if I, as a recruiter, I have framed a good impression about you from this first answer. So now I will be inclined towards finding more positive points about you. So, in the remaining of your answers, I'm going to look out for positive points and I may neglect small negative points. So, generally, the duration that you should keep for this answer is 1 minute to 3 minutes. And this answer is also sometimes called as elevator pitch. Now, what do I mean by this term elevator pitch? So, it's a metaphor for a situation which is shown in this diagram. So, let's say if I'm walking into an elevator and I start having a conversation with the person inside, and within those few seconds, till when the person reaches his or her own destination, if I am able to create a lasting impression on that person, now that's a good positive elevator pitch. So the same thing has to be done by your introductory answer also. So let's see how we can do this. Now, the key to crack this question comes in first is relevant content. What are you saying? And second is, of course, your effective communication skills. Now, we all know by this point what are good communication skills and bad communication skills. So, in this video, I'm going to focus more on the relevant content part. Now, generally, this answer can have details from various areas which we are going to discuss here. So, there are 6 different areas from your profile from where you can get points for this answer. First area is, of course, your work experience. So, if you have a prior work experience, you should definitely make sure that you are giving a nice, crisp summary of your work experience, explaining the major role and responsibility that you have been, not forgetting to mention any achievements or promotions or awards that you have got during your tenure, and using any impressive facts and figures to showcase your results. Next is internships and projects. So, for freshers, for people who do not have prior work experience, your internships or your life projects or any college projects which are very much relevant to the role that you are applying for becomes one of the most important part of this answer. So, similarly, in the similar way, like work experience, try talking about the key results of your projects, your major role in carrying out that project, and let's say if you have got a pre placement offer during your internship, now that's a big achievement that you should definitely mention. Next, achievements. So, apart from work area, if you have had achievements in your academic area or your extracurriculars, you can definitely mention that also in this answer. Next is academic background. So, this answer should also cover your academic background, your major degrees or certifications that you have got. Extracurriculars. So, if you have been an active participant in extracurricular activities apart from your regular curriculum, make sure that you mention that. And last is hobbies. So, if you have any interesting hobby that you would like to discuss with the recruiter, and you are sure that if the recruiter goes in detail of that hobby, you'll be able to answer those questions, make sure you add that as well. Now, this order that I have given is not the order which should be necessarily followed in the answer. These are just those bucket points that you can look out for. Out of these points, the best way to frame an answer is to frame a story about you. The interviewer wants to know more about you, so make sure you give them your story. Don't answer in the form of bullet points because that they already have in your resume. So you can pick up your major points from these areas. Let's understand the major do's so that we don't falter anywhere. First is make a bullet point list to prepare. So I should have a list of those 5 6 major points which I definitely do not want to forget while answering this question in the interview. Customize the list as per the role fitment and the company culture. So of course, depending on the role, which projects you want to mention versus which you may avoid mentioning in the answer can be your decision. Prepare an elevator pitch. Now after making a bullet point, prepare a script which frames a story around those bullet points. You can start your story right from your initial academic background coming to today as your work experience. Practice the pitch several times. Now, this practicing the pitch is not for you to sum up or mug up. It is so that you do not forget important points in the interview room. Start strong and grab their attention. Always start with confidence. Start strong in the way you should not be faltering in the beginning itself, or you should not be surprised if this question is thrown to you because this is one of the most expected ones. Quantify as much as possible. Now, this is an important point. Whenever you are describing your let's say your work experience or your internships, if you can quantify your results, that would create a lasting impression. Don'ts for this answer would be summarizing the whole resume. You are not supposed to summarize your complete resume in this answer. Just pick out those important key points that you want the interviewer to know about you first, right? Also, remember that out of this answer, interviewer is going to frame the questions ahead. So make sure you add all those important points only. Being Mr. or Mrs. Modest. So I have come across students who, let's say, have had 5 6 certifications in their area, and they are sort of not very much ready to tell that in the answer because they think that the recruiter will have an impression that you are boasting. It's not like that. If you have been a good achiever in any area, please be confident to talk about those achievements. Do not have a first date approach. So, your answer should not consist just about your hobbies and likings. It is a professional setup, so you have to make sure that you give out important professional information also. Sounding unprepared. Now, for such an expected question, sounding unprepared would definitely not create a good impression. Badmouth your previous employer. In no way will you talk bad about your previous company or your previous employer, or in the case of in case of freshers, even the institute that you are studying in. Never ask to them in return exactly what do you want to know. Please do not do this. Understand yourself, what you want to tell the recruiter, and just go ahead with the answer. So, this was all about this answer. Of course, every profile, every candidate, every viewer watching this video, the answer framed will be different for each one of you. So, if you are looking forward to prepare your own answer based on your own profile, this is where you can reach out to me on. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have liked the content, if you found it helpful, please do not forget to share it ahead as well as subscribe to the channel to keep getting updates. Thank you so much.